Friday. We got basketball to talk about. And on top of it all, my brother Tim Tebow is wearing one of the jackets that I wore a few weeks ago. Right in my style. But we'll let that go. You know
the only difference, Stephen A., is it's about 3 sizes bigger, okay?
That is true. That is true. But here's where I got you. Where are you at this weekend, Tim Tebow?
Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
There we go. First takes in the house. Let's roll.
Let's go.
We got to come out on Sundays and earn it again and turn the page to the Chiefs.
Let's go.
The whole team kind of got that swag back. Now, how can we keep that swag going?
I be going super hard. I've been working.
I got my swag back.
Really on my job.
Touchdown, Tyreek Hill.
We know what we're capable of.
All of these thoughts go through my head. Will I lose or will I win?
Prescott lands in the corner of the end zone. Touchdown to CD Lamb.
I go hard. I go really hard. I go hard.
Good morning and welcome into First Take on this Feel Good Friday. Hello, Tim Tebow, Stephen A. Smith. I'm Molly Karam Rose. And gentlemen, I just want to say quickly, we are going to get to the Patriots, all the good NBA. Perk and Jay Williams will be here. But we are going to start with a potential.
The background looks beautiful. I mean,
yeah, it's
beautiful. Looks beautiful there. You know,
do you notice also there's always a crowd around him too?
That's
like
right.
They'll start gathering, and then there's going to be.
But not today.
No, they'll be coming. They'll be coming. It's just too early.
No.
You know why there's no crowd around Stephen A. right now? It's because he always stays isolated because he's just too popular and he's got to stay inside. You know.
No.
That's
I'm a
why
man
you
of the
only
people.
Very rarely go out, you know?
See,
it's just too hard for you. You get bothered too much. And
that's true.
You know,
but if I was there.
That's why I couldn't even believe when you said you flew commercial. I was blown away.
Oh, please. If I were there,
yeah.
If I was there would be a crowd around me. You know why? Because he's in Alabama. They know better than to be around Tim Tebow down there. They know he ain't down for them.
Last time I checked,
he ain't down for them.
Tim's got a fan or two.
That's
He's
right.
just being humble.
He's got a fan. Just not in Alabama.
Let's do this, guys. That potential Super Bowl matchup I was just talking about for your viewing pleasure doesn't get much more exciting than America's team facing the Chiefs. Dak Prescott versus Patrick Mahomes, the top two teams in their respective divisions. Cannot wait for this one. Either can Dak. Dak, is this game a measuring stick for you?
Not a measuring stick for myself. I mean, I think for this team going into a hostile environment, as you said, playing against a great quarterback, a good offense, great team. I mean, a team that was has been the team of the last 2 years, or the last few years, I'd say, and just knowing how explosive they are, the star power they have. As I said, going into their environment, it's a great challenge for us as a team.
You know what, Stephen A., you look very handsome in your navy, and I know what's missing now. I know what I'm getting you for Christmas. That hat, it's perfect. Cowboys with the white trim.
It does look sweet.
It will complete the look.
Never.
Yes.
Let's go.
It would look great on you, Stephen A. That with the gator tie, and then it's perfect.
Yes. Now we're talking. See, Tim and I see eye to eye. Welcome to the party. Who's the better team right now, Stephen A.? Chiefs or Cowboys?
Unfortunately, it's the Cowboys, Tim Tebow. It's the Cowboys right now. I mean,
did that hurt?
It hurt. It hurt.
Well, good for me. It warmed up my spirit.
But I will confess this. It's just for now. I mean, when it really, really counts, that ain't going to be the case. But for now, the Dallas Cowboys clearly are the better team. Dak Prescott is playing better than Patrick Mahomes this year. Obviously, their running game with Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard is far more effective than the Kansas City Chiefs, who are devoid of much of a running game. Even though Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, I believe in those brothers. We've seen what Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb have been doing all season long. Guys like Wilson and Schultz have stepped up on the defensive side without the likes of DeMarcus Lawrence or a Randy Gregory. You still had, Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs and those boys stepping up. You look at the Dallas Cowboys, and I don't think there's any question that when you compare them with the Kansas City Chiefs and how sporadic the Kansas City Chiefs were, I definitely don't believe you can give the Kansas City Chiefs the edge. I definitely don't think you can look at them as the better team thus far in the 2021 season.
But Stephen A., that's not the question. The question is not who's been most consistent. It's not who's been more sporadic. It's right now. And if you look at the way the Kansas City Chiefs played the other night, that is a team that could beat anybody in the NFL. They got too much firepower. Patrick Mahomes got his swagger back. Obviously, we heard Kelce got his swagger back. The defense played a lot better. That team can beat anybody. And if that team shows up, I think most analysts are going to pick that team to win. I really do.
Tim Tebow, that makes no sense.
How does that make no sense?
Let me tell you how. First of all, don't give me some swagger. Let's look at the Kansas City Chiefs, okay? They've won 3 straight. You beat the Giants. That don't count. That's damn near a bye.
Oh, we're getting Saquon Barkley back.
Yeah, but he ain't
Buckle
back
up.
yet. But he's not. He wasn't there 3 weeks ago when you played them. Okay, so you go against the New York Giants, which is practically a bye week. Then after that, you go against the Green Bay Packers without Aaron Rodgers, and then this past week you go against a Las Vegas Raiders squad. Do we have to? We don't even need to regurgitate what they've been through from John Gruden.
Were the Raiders not a good team all year? Have the Raiders not been a good team?
No, I'm saying over the last 3 weeks because of all that they've gone through, all the turmoil.
Oh, so when you're looking at the last 3 weeks, what happened 2 weeks ago with Dallas? Oh, so if the last 3 weeks we don't look at that one?
Well, no.
Oh,
I'm just saying
the Broncos.
They laid an egg. They laid an egg, which made me very. They laid an egg, which made me very, very happy. I mean, I'm not upset about it.
So we look at the last 3 weeks. Don't look at one team. Look at both teams.
Well, I'm looking at both teams, and I'm saying outside of that, what did the Dallas Cowboys do since opening night against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? They've been winning every game. It's the only game they've lost in 8 weeks.
I agree. And they're a really good team. But when you look at last week, the way the Kansas City Chiefs played, if they consistently play like that and they stay healthy, that is a team that can beat anybody. They have too much firepower. They have a great offensive mind in Andy Reid. The defense looked much improved, and Patrick stopped forcing it, and he just started taking what the defense giving him. I know that's cliche, but he did it. It opened up everything, and that is a dynamic football team. And by the way, he threw for 405 tutties. That's ridiculous, Stephen A. He can do that against anybody if he takes what they give him.
Well, who's not answering the question now? The question is, which is the better team right now? And right now, the Dallas Cowboys literally have looked better than the Kansas City Chiefs. You're going to tell me that you're going to hang your hat on what the Chiefs did against that Raiders squad? I mean, just stop the presses.
Are you going to hang your hat on what the Cowboys did against the Broncos?
Well, no, I'm not. I mean, they got annihilated. We all know better than that. I mean, we know that the Broncos are not that good. That's why we know that it was a fraudulent loss for the Dallas Cowboys, and we accept that it is what it is. But by and large, when you look at the Cowboys throughout this season, they have been better than the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, can the Kansas City Chiefs turn it on?
That is
They've
true.
been better.
Throughout the season, they have been better. They have been more consistent. They have played at a higher level. I wasn't answering that question. I was answering the question Molly asked. Right now, this weekend in Kansas City, I think the Chiefs win.
Listen, hey, you can say that. I think the Cowboys are going to win, believe it or not. I really, really do think that they're going to win this game.
What type of win? Big win?
No, it's going to be a close game, but I think they'll find a way to pull it out. Listen, the Cowboys might not lose another game until the playoffs. I mean, they're going down to the playoffs. The second the playoffs come, they're going home.
How does this all make you feel?
I look at their schedule. I could see possibly 1 or 2 more losses, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if they ran the table for the rest of the regular season because I think they got a cupcake schedule.
Okay.
Well, I think, in all honesty, the Cowboys are also really, really good. We're not comparing them to an average team. We're comparing 2 very elite teams, and I think it's important to make that known, is both of these teams have a chance to win the championship.
I just think that it's clearly the producers and you that have collaborated with one another because I got to start off the show basically saying something nice about the Cowboys, and I don't know if anything that makes me sicker than that, but that's what I had to do.
You're wearing their colors. You're supporting the team. We're getting you the hat. It just all works, Stephen A. It all works.
Exactly. Tim, let me ask you this. Who is the team to beat in the AFC? Do you think it's the Kansas City Chiefs?
I do if they keep playing like they did last week. I just think with that firepower, with what they've done in the past, their ability to turn it on and be great. Because, listen, it's not about what you do all year. If you make it to the playoffs and you're playing Kansas City, oh, boy. Nobody's going to want to do that. You're going to want to play a lot of the other teams that have been more consistent all year because you do not want to face this team when they're playing that way. They have too much firepower. They can score at will like that so fast. I just don't think anybody wants to play them when they're playing at that level.
I don't know how much Kansas City wants New England. Because if anybody has Patrick Mahomes' number potentially, it could be Bill Belichick.
Let's go there right now, Stephen A. Good segue. The Patriots held the Atlanta Falcons to 0 points last night while dropping 25. This defense is top 2 in the league. Mac Jones threw for 226 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. New England has now won 5 in a row. Stephen A., can the Patriots win because of Mac Jones?
No. I like Mac Jones. No.
I thought you were Mr. Alabama.
Listen, I am Mr. Alabama. I love Mac Jones, okay? I'm just saying he's a rookie. All right? He's a product of the system that he's playing in. He limits mistakes. He knows where to go with the football. He's got talent. I'm not taking anything away from him. But it's about that defense. It's about how opportunistic that defense is. That's what really has the Patriots where the Patriots are right now. The veterans that stayed home last year due to COVID came back this year. Van Noy ain't in Miami any longer. He's back in New England. You look at Jackson, you look at McCourty and these brothers. Their defense is big time.
Yeah,
it's a top two defense in the National Football League. And because their defense is so special and elite, that's the difference. I give Mac Jones all the credit in the world. Loved him coming out of Alabama. I think he's going to be a star. But this season, he's not going to be the reason you win if you're New England. It's going to be because of that defense and that running game. That's what it is.
That's not the question. Is can the Patriots win because of Mac Jones? And yes, they can. A lot of your points, right? Yes, the defense is great. They are top two. They're creating a lot of turnovers. But in this 5-game winning streak, Mac Jones has been top 10 in the NFL. Mac Jones is doing a really good job. And there wouldn't be another top 10 quarterback that you'd say their team doesn't win because of him. In the last 5 weeks, he's top 10 in completion percentage, yards per attempt, TD passes, and passer rating. Yes, they can win because of Mac Jones. He doesn't make mistakes. He takes what the defense gives him. He's incredibly smart, incredibly accurate, and he doesn't hurt their team. Yes, you can win because of Mac Jones.
Listen, I'm not taking anything away from the kid. The kid is special. And I think he's in the perfect system. Let's give credit where credit is due. If he was in Jacksonville, it wouldn't be happening. If he was playing even with Kyle Shanahan, I don't think it would be happening right now. If he was in Chicago with Matt Nagy, it wouldn't be happening right now. The fact that he goes and literally he walks from Nick Saban to Josh McDaniels and Bill Belichick goes a long way. I'm not saying the kid can't play. I believe in him. I believed in him last year when I kept telling you Alabama was going to win the national championship, okay? The point that I'm trying to make to you is that...
I know you switch places with Tim.
Tim,
you come to New York,
way to stand on a limb there. Yeah, way to really just go hard on that ledge,
listen,
man.
I ain't picking the Gators. I tell you that much. I ain't picking the Gators.
Stephen A., can we do this thought experiment?
What?
Ryan Clark's going to join us later so he can say this on TV. But essentially, I heard him say on Get Up, he thinks that we're seeing Mac Jones do things that we've never seen a rookie quarterback do ever in history. So their next 2 games, they have the Titans and the Bills. The Patriots take care of business against the Titans. Will you change this narrative?
It depends on what we see during the game. Like, for example, last night they're playing Atlanta, okay?
Yeah, the Titans and the Bills are real competition.
Allow me to finish. Their offense wasn't high-powered or anything like that. But, you saw Matt Ryan look awful. You saw Josh, Josh Rosen come in. He looked awful. The third stringer, Franks, throws one pass that ends up being an interception. We saw all of that. We saw their defense being very opportunistic. If you play against Tennessee and Buffalo and your defense is playing lights out, and that's what stands out, I'm not going to turn around and say they won because of Mac Jones.
No, but Stephen, I think this is what's important is once they got the lead, the way their style of play wasn't to necessarily try to run it up and take more risk. It was to be able to control the clock, eliminate more possessions for Matt Ryan in their offense, take away a lot of the time of possession, and win it the way that Bill has won it for so many years. I think he did exactly what Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels wanted Mac to do, and he executed besides one pass at a very high level the entire night.
Guys, this is not a knock against Mac Jones. I'm not saying the brother's a scrub and he can't play. I'm just saying, look at how elite this defense is. And then on the offensive side of the ball, look at their running game. You got this rookie, Ramondre Stevenson. He's got skills. You got Damian Harris. You've got this kid, Bolden. All of them are averaging over 4 yards a carry. They have a running game, okay? That's a top-notch running game, and they have a defense.
He's not making mistakes.
I'm saying he's a good kid.
And he's a quarterback. Rookie.
He's a good quarterback. The question is, can the Patriots win because of him? I'm saying it's because of their defense and running game. He's got a bright future. He's got skills. But you're not hanging your hat on him to take you there. You're surrounding him with a lot of important supplementary parts that are going to help elevate him. That's what's happening with New England. That's not happening with any of the other rookie quarterbacks right now.
So right now, Tim said he would take the Chiefs in the AFC. Who are you taking at this moment before they play the Titans and then the Bills twice in the next 4 weeks?
I don't know. Oh, man, this is a tough
Are you going to go with that?
Hey, listen, Stephen A. You can't be lukewarm right now. What do we got?
I am. I have to confess. I have to confess, Tim. I can't front. I don't know. Because one minute I see Lamar Jackson, and then they wet the bed, even though I know it was a Thursday night game, 3 days off and all of this other stuff, and I don't expect that to last. I'm looking at New England. Obviously, Kansas City. And then you see Tennessee winning without Derrick Henry. I'd have to go with Tennessee.
Like the ocean.
If I had to pick anybody right now, it would be Tennessee, because Derrick Henry's going to be back for the playoffs.
All I know is I heard like a lot of noises and ums and hms and uhs. And,
It's
Yeah.
true.
I feel like I was in the ocean and I was just getting tossed side to side by the waves.
I don't know if he was like
news.
trying to put us to sleep with like,
It is news, because I am a bit more definitive than that usually. But I did not anticipate that question. I have to give it some thought. But I'm going to roll with Tennessee because Derrick Henry will be back come playoff time.
You're not off the hook yet. Can the Titans beat the Cowboys?
Everybody could beat the Cowboys. Cowboys won't get to SoFi.
There we go. That
Cowboys
was
won't get to
definitive.
SoFi.
That's the Stephen A. I know.
Cowboys won't get to SoFi. Cowboys are not getting to SoFi. It doesn't matter. The AFC don't even need to worry about them. Cowboys going to be home by then.
Okay. We'll leave it there, guys.
That's right.
More on Mahomes. John Morant scored 17 of his 28 points in a third-quarter rally to beat the Clippers last night. Stephen A., is Morant a top 10 player in the NBA?
I have to think about it, but I got to say I'm inclined to say yes. The brother is a closer. He's an athletic freak. He's got a lot of heart, athleticism, and more importantly, he should have been a New York Knick. If the New York Knicks had one pick earlier, it would have been there.
Who shouldn't have been a New York Knick? Okay, Jay Will, the Heat won again, this time beating the Wizards, who had won 5 of their last 6. Are the Heat the team to beat in the East, Jay Will?
They are playing the best basketball in the East, but I'm still not going to disrespect the world champions. The Milwaukee Bucks are still the team to beat in the East, even though they are ranked right now 11th. Actually, they're tied for 9th with the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference. But still, Chris Middleton coming back off COVID, Drew Holiday finally getting healthy. This team all together is still a team that just won a championship.
Chef Curry with the shot. Steph keeps lighting it up, scoring 40 in a comeback win versus the Cavs. Stephen A., is Curry the best player in the NBA right now?
Yes. Easy question. Easy answer. Yes.
Well, hear me refute that.
Nobody can refute that.
No.
Yes. Yes. And yes again.
Okay, unanimous decision. We are only a month into the season, and Stephen A. already has Twitter trending takes like this. The Warriors will be hoisting the Larry O'Brien this season. Then he took it a step further, saying the Dubs will win 2 of the next 3, assuming Klay Thompson is back to being Klay, all splash. Then he took it a step further, saying no mas when it comes to LeBron James, as in the King will never get another ring, essentially retiring him. Don't believe me? Listen for yourself.
I think LeBron has won his last title. I think it's over.
Okay, I'm glad 15 games into the season you feel that way.
It's not LeBron's fault. I believe this is the last championship LeBron James is going to win. Meaning it's over. There ain't no more championships coming. That's exactly what I'm doing. I am eulogizing LeBron James. I want to say congratulations to LeBron James for a wondrous, illustrious career.
You know,
You wrote this man's eulogy, huh?
Yeah.
I got to ask you, because I'm a little bit confused. Mm-hmm. So that day you said LeBron James will never win another world championship. But then the following day I heard you in a conversation with Big Perk where you kind of hedged your bet.
Nope.
Because you said, if LeBron wins a championship,
right.
I might consider him to be the greatest of all time.
That's only because that Kendrick Perkins is texting me all the time, and he's going back and forth, reminding me that he believes LeBron's the GOAT, and I keep telling him, hell no, MJ. So basically what I was saying to him is that if that happened, I'd entertain your conversation. But I said it ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen.
So can you give me some reasons why so definitively in your mind that you believe LeBron James will never is a strong statement?
Well, first of all right, you want me to give you that, or you want to let the world know how you feel?
No, it was a little bit of both,
okay,
but I'm ready.
Here's the deal. I am in no way knocking LeBron. I don't have any doubt that LeBron James is going to come back when healthy and look the way we expect him to look. Mm-hmm. It's not about him. It's about what I'm watching from the Golden State Warriors. And it's about the fact that they're not going anywhere. They're not going away. I don't believe LeBron is leaving Tinseltown. I believe that this is his final home. He will retire a Los Angeles Laker. That's what I believe. Unless he retires, it is over, and then he goes and retires as a Cleveland Cavaliers on a one-day contract, something like that. This is it for him. This is his playing career. And so I'm looking at the personnel that you've got, the Anthony Davises of the world, the Russell Westbrooks of the world, THT, who I like a lot, a whole bit. I'm not knocking any of those guys. None of them. I'm looking at you in your face and telling you, LeBron, AD, Russell Westbrook at their best against the Warriors at their best once Clay returns. It's over. They're not beating them. I believe watching this team, Steph Curry is sensational, the greatest shooter God ever created.
I would agree.
I'm looking at Jordan Poole and his evolution and his elevation. Draymond Green is hitting jump shots now. I'm looking at Toscano, and I'm looking at Damian Lee, and I'm looking at this kid Kuminga coming off the bench, and I'm looking, wait a minute. Wiseman and Clay coming back? Because remember, I keep bringing up Wiseman for this two reasons. Number one, he's not a scrub. He can play. And number two, they won titles with Jaja Pajulia and Andrew Bogut in the middle. You can't win with James Wiseman if you got those other pieces around. I see it. That's what I'm saying. I don't believe that. In other words, both teams are going to be there. They ain't beating the Warriors. That's what I'm saying.
So you believe that Klay Thompson is going to come back and be the Klay Thompson that he was 2 years ago?
I even said this. Give me Klay Thompson at 80% is all he needs. Because I think that's enough to beat the Lakers. Warriors are just too good. They're just too good. That's what I'm saying. This is not me saying, oh, LeBron has slipped and LeBron. No. The greatness is the greatness. I'm saying it won't be good enough.
One of the most beautiful things about basketball in any sport, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Sure.
So you're talking about a sprint right now. It's been one hell of a sprint. You're not going to sit up here. I'm not going to sit up here on national TV and tell you that the Golden State Warriors are not playing the best basketball in the NBA right now, because they are. But I don't know if Steph's health is going to sustain throughout the course of the year. You can say that about a lot of people. I've seen him have a tendency to get injured time and time when his usage rate is very high. I do wonder how Klay is going to come back, considering different injuries on different sides of his body, right? Torn ACL on one side, Achilles on the other. Will he come back and be the version of he was? I just think it's so disrespectful to a guy that's in the conversation. He may not be your GOAT, but a guy who could be considered the GOAT. I consider him the GOAT, in my opinion. That you can just cancel him out and say definitively, 15 games into the season, that he will never win another world title. Never.
All right.
Just due to a tough start that they've had.
Allow me to interject. Number one, let me school you. First of all, sir, don't come to me with marathons opposed to sprints. I'm 54. You're 40.
Oh.
I have
wait.
In other words, what I'm saying is I would know something about the marathon. In other words, I'm older. I'm just saying I'm a senior citizen. I'm older. I'm older than you. Okay, so I know what a marathon and a sprint is. That's number one.
You would turn that into a debate.
That's number one. I'm just older. That's all I'm saying.
It's nothing to do with life experience.
I understand. That's
a number.
Okay. So number one. Number two, it's not disrespectful to LeBron. A matter of fact, it's very respectful. Let me tell you why. Because I mentioned him. I didn't mention a whole bunch of other dudes because they ain't relevant. I'm saying at 36 in your 19th year, I still expect you to be great. LeBron James was great when he lost not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, but 6 titles. Why can't he lose a 7th? Not that it's going to come to that because he won't be in the finals, but he's lost 6 times. Even when he was great. You know why? Because the pieces around you matter. And all I'm saying to you is that I don't talk about injuries. Of course, if people get injured,
of course.
I'm saying LeBron at his best.
LeBron James at his best.
I'm saying LeBron at his best. The Lakers at their best. And the Warriors at their best. They ain't beating the Warriors. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not disrespecting LeBron or the Lakers in any way. We're talking basketball. And I believe that when healthy and fully loaded, the Warriors are the best. I think they'll smoke Milwaukee. I think the only team that has a prayer,
Miami,
is if Kyrie comes back to Brooklyn and AD and Kyrie, KD, and James Harden are at their best. That's the only chance I'm giving anybody for beating this Warriors team.
So you know what you're doing? You're feeding into how LeBron James gets motivated by saying this, number one.
I don't care.
For you to
do we have to play? We want to watch.
For
Don't
you
we?
to sit here and say because I'm Stephen A. and I mention your name for a great, that's so disrespectful. I don't know how you can't see that. You said LeBron James and never.
Yes.
You're saying one of the greatest players to ever play the game of basketball and never in the same sentence.
No. All I mean is, I said what I'm saying, it's over. What I'm saying to you is this. He's 36. He's scheduled to play maybe about 3 more years.
Okay.
I believe the Golden State Warriors are going to be standing right there saying, no, it's
they
over.
could be standing there together.
No, I'm saying they're going to stop it. They're the roadblock. That's what I'm saying. How is this hard to understand?
No, it's not hard to understand.
Can I ask one question? Do you feel like you might be prisoner of the moment because you haven't seen LeBron on the court in 10 games?
I would remind you, I'm glad you asked that question. I would remind you, Molly, who was here last year before Klay Thompson was even scheduled to come back? And I was saying next year, the Golden State, meaning next year is in this last season, I was like, next season, Golden State Warriors going to be in the conference.
Yeah,
finals.
he was.
That would be
That's
me.
True.
Okay.
That's how I've always believed in them. But I still didn't see this. And so what I'm saying to you is that I'm watching, I believed in them to begin with. But now that I've watched them and I've seen Jordan Poole and these boys playing, and I see their movement without the basketball, and I see their defense, which is a top 3 defense, and I see the passing ability, and I just see everything. I'm going like this. The Lakers can't beat them.
Thank you for schooling me.
I'm not schooling you.
No, that's what you said before. You were going to school me.
I was just talking about marathon compared to sprint because of my age.
Can I school you about something?
Because you know basketball.
You know the first 15, 20 games are like the preseason for vets, right?
Sure.
For vets, right?
Sure.
So I know that we dig into the weeds about this team defensively.
Right.
And I heard you the other day about Anthony Davis. And I would agree about Anthony Davis and Giannis to a degree. Anthony Davis needs to find a little bit more dog in him in those type of moments.
That's all I said. That was all I was saying.
You. But you have to understand what LeBron James does to teams when he comes around.
Yes.
It's a different feeling.
I agree.
And my thing is, I understand there are questions around Russell Westbrook when they get Trevor Ariza back, when they get Kendrick Nunn back, with the way THT is playing. That is a team. So to sit there and say definitively, never again, that puts a little pressure on you, man. I would never do that to LeBron.
Well, I'm saying never again because I'm anticipating. The brother ain't playing the next 10, 15 years. He's done in 3. So what I'm saying to you is that over the next 3 years, I think
never zero, Stephen A. 0%.
Because
that's not even 20%.
Listen, if LeBron played 2 more years and I said it's over for you, is that really an insult when you only got 2 years left? Now, if you got 10 years left, I get you. No, it's not.
Yes, Stephen A.
Time out. LeBron James, Steph Curry has 3 titles. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. Who are those 3 titles against?
LeBron James.
Thank you.
Okay.
In other words, it ain't like it hasn't happened before.
You're saying it in the year that they're favored, the Lakers are favored to win it all.
And by the way, can you tell me about some of those players that were on those teams?
That's true because he had Kevin Durant, but 2 of them. First one,
thank you.
First one he did it. First one he did it.
Details,
first one he did it.
First one he did not.
Second one, you were there when you saw Adam Silver in the league give them that stimulus package when they were about to get smoked in 5, and then they suspend Draymond after Game 4. Andrew Bogut and Iguodala gets hurt in Game 5. They shouldn't have won that.
Draymond Green got suspended.
I understand that. I'm saying it shouldn't have.
Kicking somebody, that's on you.
I'm just talking about, we talking ball, right? I'm saying to you, when you look at 2 teams going at it, I'm saying fully loaded. We're not taking injuries and suspensions into consideration. I'm looking at the 2 teams. Fully loaded, both teams. They ain't beating the Warriors.
You can
That's
make a bet
what
on
I'm
that.
saying.
I can make a bet on that.
Okay. Well, you know what?
You're
Lord
thinking,
willing, I'm not going nowhere.
You're thinking
Lord
short
willing,
term.
I'm not going nowhere. I'm going to be right here.
Short term, 15 games into the season.
No, it's not.
Make it 15 games into the season.
I'm not talking about the 15 games.
I'm talking about what
you've
you've seen in the 15 games.
No, I'm not saying that because LeBron hasn't played in 10 of them. Of course, I'm not talking about the 15 games. I'm talking about what we know about LeBron, what we know about the other players on the Lakers, and what we know about Steph Curry and the other players on the Warriors over the course of their careers. I don't believe that they're going to beat the Warriors.
So what do we know about the other players over the course of their careers? Because that's what you're bringing in these factors,
Because
so LeBron doesn't get to finals because he does get to finals.
No. He gets to the finals, but he's just playing in the same conference as the team that's going to knock him off. That's the only reason. If he was in the Eastern Conference, you'd have a better argument. He ain't getting past Steph Curry. Am I being specific, or are you comprehending what I'm saying?
You're saying.
I'm telling you, he ain't getting past Steph Curry.
Like they have 0 chance to get by the Golden State Warriors.
Okay,
that's when you say never. You're saying 0 chance they can ever beat the Golden State Warriors.
I tell you how I give them a chance. If somehow, some way, they didn't have to play the Warriors. If they play the Warriors, they're going down. They going down. I think they'll beat anybody else.
He did throw LeBron a bone, though, because he said that if LeBron does win another title, then he enters the conversation as the GOAT.
And I don't think I'm going to have to worry about that.
In his mind. His mind ain't the only mind that matters as it relates to LeBron James being the GOAT, Molly.
That's absolutely true.
You know this.
I'm just saying, he always said it was definitive that it'll always be MJ no matter what.
You can't even talk to me about it.
It's the greatest winner of all time, 6-0 in the championships, and you want to use all the times that LeBron carry guys like
the era you're playing in.
Gentlemen, this has been so much fun. Guess what? To be continued. We have a long season to go.
LeBron James.
Good stuff, Jay Williams. I like the suit. Still ahead, the man under center for the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes coming off his best performance of the year Sunday night in Vegas, throwing for a season-high 406, 5 touchdowns. He ranks second in the NFL this season in passing yards and TDs. However, only Sam Darnold and Joe Burrow have thrown more interceptions than Mahomes this season. Kind of a high-risk, high-reward sort of guy. Sam Acho joining the debate desk. Good to see you, Sam. As always, I'll get to you in a moment, but I want to start with Tim Tebow in Alabama. Tim, has Patrick Mahomes become underappreciated?
I think so. I mean, look at what he did last week, and so Patrick Mahomes 3 times in his career has thrown for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. Peyton Manning's he's tied with Peyton Manning, tied with Dan Marino and Joe Montana for the most to ever do that, and it's really not even that big of a deal. You know, you haven't really talked about it on First Take this week. It's like, okay, we're just talking about all these other things. That's a huge deal. What Patrick Mahomes is doing is ridiculous. Yes, did he have to force it this year? Yes, a little bit, but that's because his defense was giving up touchdowns after touchdowns after touchdowns. So to stay in the big games, especially even to start the year against Cleveland, he did force it a little bit. But you could see him rally, understand a little bit what he was doing. Now he's changing it a little bit. He's still under control, and he's still probably the most dangerous quarterback in the NFL.
You know what, Tim? I love you, man. Sometimes I don't know what to do with you. Sometimes you just it's like if you ever watch The Honeymoon, it's like you're gone. You're just gone, Tim. You're all right, Ralph Cramson, you're gone. It doesn't make any sense.
I think why you get upset is because sometimes the truth hurts, Stephen A.
No, it's not the truth, Tim. It's not the truth, Tim Tebow. It makes no sense. Patrick Mahomes, underappreciated. We recognize the greatness of this dude, time.
What are you talking about? All year, you've talked down about the Chiefs, and I've supported them. Listen, we can get all of the producers to throw up the clips, okay? All year.
Yes, we can.
All year.
May I speak? May I speak? Man, are you being rude and interrupting me? Is that what you're doing? Now you're being rude and interrupting me.
Go ahead, Stephen A.
There we go. All right, thank you very much. Here's the deal, Tim. They lose to Baltimore. They lose to the Chargers. But they got blown out by Buffalo, blown out by Tennessee when they only scored 3 points. And he went through a slew of games where he threw more interceptions over a few weeks than he threw all of last season because he only had 6 interceptions last season. So when that happened, we obviously said, yo, what the hell's going on? This is not the Patrick Mahomes we know and love. But this is the problem, and this is what I'm getting on you about. Because it's a bigger picture. Tim, I don't know if you know this, but you know I kind of watch soap operas, you know. I'm a General Hospital guy.
Wait, do you watch them?
I don't have that much free time, and I don't like all that drama. Okay,
well,
Stephen A.
Because I'm working. I'm working.
Do you watch them, or are you on
My character's name is Britt.
That honestly explains a lot.
That's right. Stay with me. Stay with me. My character's name is Britt. I'm a surveillance expert for the mob. I have a recurring role on General Hospital, and I'm actually going out there next month to film a few scenes in the middle of December. My point to you is this. There's a story that has to be told. Even if you sense that you may know the outcome, you still must tell the story. And athletes like yourself and others always have a problem with people telling the stories. You want us to go to the finish line. No, we got to look at you and go like this. Hey, right now, this is what's going on. This is how you look. And when you look better, we give it to you. If you look worse, we bring that up. But telling the story is not underappreciating somebody. It's telling the story because that is what the people want. I thought you were a man of the people. You're supposed to know this stuff, Tim.
Hey, Stephen A., I am a man of the people, and I like telling real stories, not soap operas, all right? This isn't Days of Our Lives, okay? This is actually the truth. We want to look at how good people are. And when you're comparing Patrick Mahomes in his more interceptions than last year, what you're comparing him against is his past greatness. And so to be able to dilute his greatness now, but that's underappreciating him, right?
Oh,
even though he's not as good as he was the last few years, he's still one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And he hasn't been talked about like that. He is still one of the best.
Get on him, Sam. Talk some sense into Tim Tebow.
Whose side are you on right now, Sam?
Well, Tim, I'll say this. It's not that Patrick Mahomes is being underappreciated. It's just that we expect more out of him. Like, we expect more out of Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes has been great and consistently great, but this year he slipped up. 25 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. This year he's throwing the ball to the other team. This year it's not just the defense that was playing bad. It's also Patrick Mahomes that was playing bad. It's not just the defense that needed to be better. Patrick Mahomes needed to be better. And so it's not that he's underappreciated by any stretch of the imagination. We actually appreciate him more than most, and that's why we're holding him to this higher standard. If it was anybody else, any other quarterback, name 15, 20 other quarterbacks, they wouldn't even be having this conversation. But we know who Patrick Mahomes not only is, but we know what he has been. And so we're saying, Pat, you need to be better. We're holding you to your standard of being the best quarterback, an MVP, Super Bowl champion. That's what we expect out of you. And so, yes, we don't underappreciate him. If anything, we overappreciate him. We're in awe of his greatness, in awe of his ability to roll out of the pocket and throw the ball left-handed, in awe of his ability just to make magic happen. And this year, for whatever reason, Patrick Mahomes has not been making magic happen. What we've been saying is, Pat, we need you to do what you did last week and make that magic happen. 400 yards. 5 touchdowns. That's amazing, but we expect that. We can't have you go back to being a normal human being. We need you to be Superman.
I know, but my point is when you expect that to happen, it's like almost like what you're doing should be normal. It's not normal. When he rolls out, when he breaks tackles, when he throws it 60 yards, that's crazy. It's what he's done the last few years is ridiculous. So to say, because he forced it a little bit, because he's still second in the league with TDs. I know he's forced it with 10 interceptions, but it's like you're expecting him. What do you want at 50 touchdowns and 6 interceptions? It's almost you're holding him to a standard that is just crazy. What he's done is ridiculous.
That's the standard that he's created for himself. And so it's not like it's crazy. That's Patrick Mahomes. It's not